Okay, now we're good. Alright, back with another video here, GZTV. What's going on, everybody? We're here to talk about the 20th episode of Season 11 of The Walking Dead. We are getting ready to kind of close out. I'm actually watching the 21st episode right now. Hopefully, let's see. I think by like the start of next week we should be able to finish, because tomorrow I'm watching episode 22. Okay, we'll probably save the season finale for like next Friday. We can do like an edited review. I can let you guys know this is where like the series closes off. So yeah, obviously there's spinoffs and stuff, but I don't think that's deemed as important for The Walking Dead. So let's get into it. So, after a couple fast-paced and drama-filled episodes, the action slows down a skosh to focus on the aftermath of Eugene and Max's uncivil disobedience and the ensuing Founders Day riot. And when you're watching this as an audience, you don't find this super uncivil because these people kind of had it coming. The leaders of the Commonwealth kind of had it coming, So, with Eugene behind bars and awaiting trial, the focus turns to two of the strongest migrants, as they're now known in the Commonwealth. There's Carol, now determined to find her missing friends, and Yumiko, who's feeling pressure to prosecute her pal. These two are faced with some pretty interesting decisions in this episode, and it's really cool how they kind of formatted that and structured it. In some alternate timeline, both of these heroines and Pam Milton are probably keynote speakers at a woman in leadership conference. But with Pam's rival, Hornsby, officially out of the picture and her undead son now dead, she's showing her true colors and not winning any awards, except perhaps Despo of the Year. What begins as a light moment with Carol's bakery goes south fast as Zeke, like Rosita last episode, is kidnapped, or more accurately, silently vanishes without a trace. That sends Carol out here on these streets hiding from troopers and finding Daryl in the midst of a nasty wrestling match with more Commonwealth covert ops thugs. I mean, you can pretty much just call them thugs at this point. Nice assist by zombie thug number 1, who conveniently takes a bite out of thug number 2. Mercer can't be trusted to help their rescue mission, so Carol suggests the one person who knows all the dark shit that lurks within the Commonwealth. What they find is a horror show. Hornsby covered in blood and babbling, while zombie Sebastian growls and crawls across a crimson-soaked floor. Daryl puts the kid out of his misery, but Hornsby doesn't even notice. He just mumbles and spins his coin, kind of having gone, pretty much insane, having been locked in this room for so long. So Daryl and Carol play bad cop, worst cop with Hornsby, who seems at first to be a shell of his former self. He later admits that feeding his former henchman to Pam's son put him in a bad headspace. Understandably, we still don't really fuck with him as a character, so there's kind of that too. But it doesn't take long for the old schemer within him to resurface. He compliments Carol on pulling off his rescue and salutes her for always playing 4D chess. He's trying to get into her mind and play some mind games a little bit, and we know that's exactly what he's doing. This is just before he leads her into a tunnel that's prone to cave-ins and is also crawling with perhaps the most disgusting strain of zombie, the foul-smelling, waterlogged variety whose skin slides off when Carol grapples with one. Ugh, it's disgusting. These are old-ass zombies that are sitting in this cave, sulking up this, ew, I don't know. In the middle of this treacherous path, Hornsby takes a moment to pose a long-game question. What happens if Pam is actually overthrown? Because, people heard, the message over the radio, and they're like, well, she's not the leader she seems to be, Will Carol let the Commonwealth crumble, or will someone rise up from the ashes of revolution to lead its 50,000-some citizens? Which is still crazy to me to think that there's 50,000 people in this place. It doesn't even seem like that realistic of a number, but I digress. So, while Carol fends off moist munchers and contemplates post-apocalyptic political upheaval, Pam's top priority is to make sure her wealthy donors are satisfied. Good to see some things don't change after society crumbles. She doesn't give a fuck. She wants to pay people off and all this stuff. The key to Pam's PR plan, as she explains to her new notepad-carrying flunky who's taken Max's job, is to prosecute Eugene, restore order, and regain the public's trust. This is something that shouldn't be happening in the community. Yeah, people can get upset every now and then and have, protest and stuff, but when you lead a riot, it's yeah, that's kind of where you cross the line here. The town can't feel like a police state, she insists. At the very same time, her armored stormtroopers and undercover kidnappers roam the streets. Sorry if I'm being a little quiet. Obviously, got to be cognizant. Pam puts the squeeze on Yumiko to prosecute Eugene, a move she hopes will send a strong message that the interlopers have been put in their place and justice will be served. Of course, Miko ain't down with this bullshit. She doesn't want to do this. I mean, Eugene's grown to be one of her friends, and they've obviously survived together. Pam passive-aggressively threatens her brother, Tomichi, and even he suggests that Miko should go with the flow and do Pam's bidding. Does he even know his sister, we wonder? Like pre-apocalypse, sure he does, but like after the apocalypse, I'm sure she's a completely different person. Perhaps Miko wasn't made of such unbendable moral fiber before the world fell. Maybe she was just this soft, smart girl that went to law school. As fate in the Walking Dead writership would have it, Connie literally appears out of nowhere with a long story that ends with Miko failing to spy on another kidnapper. With her loyalties revealed, Miko chooses the nuclear option. Not since the days of Anthony Scaramucci has the world seen such a disastrous presser, at least from Pam's perspective. Miko goes off script to thank her brother for his invaluable and irreplaceable service as the Commonwealth top doc, assuring that if anything happened to him, the people will not stand for it. She's trying to put this message in people's heads. I mean, she's authority. She needs to take advantage of this opportunity to, send a message. Then Miko declares that she's defending Eugene and looking forward to her day in court. I don't know why I have the hiccups right now. I haven't even ate or drank anything this morning. Whatever. Is there even another lawyer in the Commonwealth? If only Pam could call Saul, and he was a part of the Walking Dead universe. I mean, they were both made by AMC, so that's an interesting thing. Crossover? I mean, hey, they're similar timelines. Saul might have died, though, before this timeline took place. Hornsby's probably the most likely candidate for sleazebag faux attorney, but his career as Rainmaker, Chaos Agent, Psychopath is about to end. As he and Carol emerge from the water zombie tunnel, there just happens to be a Commonwealth trooper greeting party waiting for them. They know that they escaped. Obviously, they have security all around this place. It's like a utopian community. It's like damn near perfect. That's what it sets up to be. Hornsby conveniently left Carol in the dark in that tunnel, and now they walk right into police custody. Sure seems like he's angling to get rid of her and Daryl, who arrives just in time to mow down the troops. Yeah, this seems like kind of a setup, because Hornsby and Pam kind of had a plan. We kind of saw them talking in that episode, like a couple episodes ago, if you guys don't remember. Hornsby reveals there's a supply train that runs to and from the Commonwealth, a major asset in community rebuilding for whoever survives this fiasco, and quickly moves into self-preservation mode. He's a changed man. The coin-flipping, fast-talking, suit-wearing murderer died in that cell. Carol and Daryl let him make a run for it, presumably just so we don't see these two heroes kill an unarmed man in cold blood. They don't want to kill him. I mean, obviously he's done a lot of fucked up things, but he hasn't necessarily done anything to, hurt these two characters. But Hornsby proves he's always gonna Hornsby. Before he can grab a police rifle and spin around and fire it, Carol puts a perfectly placed arrow through his neck, which is obviously kind of some plot convenience, but I'll let it be. Those final gurgles as Hornsby lays wide-eyed on the ground are disturbingly satisfying. No one likes that character. Now it's up to Carol and Daryl to save their companions, who appear to be sedated and packed into a transport bus with burlap sacks over their heads. The camera zooms beneath one of the hoods, and we see one open eye and one dreadlock. Moments later, a soldier sticks Zeke with a needle, and he slumps over. Eugene's trial may be the hottest story inside the Commonwealth, but the fate of the captives will likely decide its future and that of the entire region. Assuming the smart walkers don't make a meal out of all of them first. I mean, that was something we saw in the 19th episode with Varian, which I talked about the other day, I believe. I don't remember when I last reviewed one of these episodes, but that's pretty much all I gotta say. I gotta get going on this Walking Dead episode. Holy shit. Watch as much of this as I can before lunch. I'm sorry about that, but I set an alarm for 11:30 because I thought I was going to sleep that long, but that does not appear to be the case. So if you want Walking Dead episodes reviewed, we're going to be giving them out all weekend. So tomorrow, the next day, and Monday, Saturday, Sunday, actually on Monday, I think we are going to be